What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology Retold action. It is here, it is now, it is the quarterfinals of the Captain's Winter Draft. I've heard rumors there might be a summer Captain's Draft as well, but you know, you never don't want to jump too soon, don't want to get too excited, but quarterfinals means one thing. There's only 7 games left. 7 series left. You've got the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals. And then it's all done. It's all over. Nonetheless, let's introduce the players and see what we're going to find out here. In the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is Shelty. In the red color, playing as Uranus. It's Dr. Someone Ninja. And finally, in the yellow color, playing as Loki. His name is Monkfish. Their opponents today, in the green color, playing as Uranus. It's no brainer. Because it's just not, it's just no brain. Is it no brain, or is it that it's not a, the decision is no decision. He's a partner in the light blue, sky blue even, teal potentially color. Playing as Thor is El Matador. And finally, in the purple color, playing as Odin. His name is the last Jarl. The map is Elysium. And yes, a 3v3 here. We've got Team Shelty versus Team the last Jarl. The last Jarl's team has been performing very, very well throughout this tournament. I'm not actually sure what happened with their sort of run. Actually, let's take a quick look at it. So, the Idle Villager Collective is their name. And they went 3-0 in their group stage. So they are on an absolute tear. I don't think they dropped a single game thus far. So, Shelty's team is going to have they're going to have their work cut out for them. Their group stage went much more challenging like. They went 2-1, where they went 0-3 against Temporal Shift, against against Gaia's Daddies, they went 2-1, and then finally against Pizza Mafia, they did take them out 2-1. So a very, very tight group. They've had a lot of being tested, so to speak, in the group stages, which means they're going to be prepared to be tested again. However, they have lost out on their synergy in this one. They've had to call in a sub. Monkfish has stepped up. He's not part of the team, but he will be participating in this event due to time constraints and challenges with scheduling, apparently. Nonetheless, let's see what these players' plans are in this game. Our Uranus player here in the red color going through Oceanus. Our Loki player over here going through Forseti. Our other Uranus player here, no brainer, going through Oceanus. We've got Forseti coming in for El Matador. We've got Freya coming through for the last Jarl. And Shelty is saying, who needs to age up? I don't, as he's finally going to be deciding to advance through Forseti with a 5-minute advance time, because why not? As this dwarf is a little confused about where he wants to go. He does get swapped over onto the food, finishing up on those deers there. And then he's going to probably move either over onto the chickens or completely outside of his base, because why not? It's a team game. Team games are so different than everything else. You can afford to do this. You can afford to advance later. In fact, even if you're rushing, it's almost better to advance later when you're rushing. How does that make sense, you ask? Well, there's not really a whole lot of decent damage. I'm going to go through all these relics and check them out. There's not really a whole bunch of decent damage you can do early game. Take a look at this base. You can see it's walled off. Just getting buildings up. It takes a while to get units up. It's probably better to go for more of a timing-based attack if you're going to go aggressive, which does favor a later advance than anything else. Anyway, let's see what these players have got. Shelty, nothing. We've got that, what looks to be Hecate's, or Hestia's Hearth there for Doctor, some Ninja. Monkfish. He's got himself Canopic Jar and Text of Hotep, as well as Chariots of Sibel. No brainer, nothing. The last Jarl, Tusk of the Iron Boar. And El Matador has Hecate's Torch. There you go. Some good relics all around. As the Valkyrie coming through, causing a little bit of problems here for Shelty, but he's more than capable to fend this off, as he's going to be starting to spam out none other than the Berserk. Meanwhile, on the left side, Monkfish also going for Berserks to kick this game off. Makes a lot of sense. Berserk, an infantry unit, very, very good at dealing with the speedy cavalry units of their opponents, dealing with potential Terma spam as well. But the Murmillo coming through, and we'll see how things are going to go here for them. Roses says, a late advance acts as a form of multiplier that makes you want to rush even more because you're already late. So basically, the later you advance, the more resources you get. It's as simple as that. So if you advance in 5 minutes, you've got more resources to use. That's why it's better to advance. If you're going for a timing, it's better to advance later. Oh, villager kill. No. Yes. Oh, 4 HP. Shelty is one lucky cookie in this one. 4 HP and a dream over here. Alrighty. Got some red units moving through the center of the map looking for a little something. Some town centers have already been grabbed by El Matador. He says, hey man, I see some Norse players in this game. Let me just get my boom on and say, do your worst. No brainer as well. Second town center. It's really just Jarl who's deciding to go for one town center aggro into the Thor of Shelty. But Shelty, he's got his Berserks up. He's defending. There's not really a whole lot of different places for Jarl to really attack here as the Berserks come through, getting that damage in over onto this position. We've got ourselves a Shockwave Carnivora down as well, trying to get that little bit of damage done as Dr. Someone Ninja just trying to get damage. Meanwhile, we've got another Caladria or Carnivora getting dropped down as the Murmillo's going to be pushing Monkfish back for the time being here. Now, Dr. Someone Ninja needs to be careful. He is going to be losing a lot of units. He's playing around this nicely. The town center not being retasked just yet as the Carnivora goes down. One citizen being cleaned up. The village is finally retreating back. Shockwave to get dropped down here as he's trying his darndest to just get a couple more villager kills. He gets one more with that Shockwave, and then he will be out of there. Loses 2 Murmillos, maybe 3. Okay, and he's out. As we see a forest fire getting dropped down. The Berserks are through for Monkfish is trying to retreat away. There's a lot of units here, however, for the last Jarl and El Matador. They're charging in onto this position. Meanwhile, on the right-hand corner of the map, we're going to be seeing Shelty. He's got his town center. He's got his big blue swab of Berserks here, looking to push in to the last Jarl for a little bit of damage. But the army stops chasing down on this side, goes onto the house, and is now going to be regretting potentially not being at home. But the entirety of the base at the moment for the last Jarl is looking very, very safe. The Berserk's trying to sneak through onto this way. Shelty clicks through. He dives into the main base here, ready to start cleaning villages. He's not paying attention. He turns around, snipes down a couple of thrown axemen before deciding, okay, let's get out of here. I don't want to deal with this. I am exposed. I'm going to be losing a lot of units, but getting out of here after all is said and done. Meanwhile, over onto this position, we've got the Loki versus the Thor, and this is not the best of fights when a handful of thrown axemen are sitting in the back. You will sometimes get hit with a myth unit spawn or something like that. Meanwhile, the Berserk simply retreating back, but those raiding cavalry aren't scary in the slightest for those Shelty Berserks. Looks like he wants to pull back to his healing sprint before taking any sort of a fight here. A couple of hearse are inbound as well as the heroic gauge comes through for Monkfish. Now, Monkfish is still sitting one town center. We are seeing a heroic gauge through as well for No Brainer. And that's about it for the time being. The last Jarl here is being very, very aggressive on this forward position. The Berserks are going to be completely fine with charging in here to take out those thrown axemen. Infantry units technically beat range units when there's no front line. As he does come through and completely cleans that up. Coming back up onto these raiding cavalry. The dwarves do manage to escape. El Matador coming in for the reinforcement, but I think Shelty is more than capable of holding here by himself. He's got so many berserks for the time being, but the problem here is that El Matador and No Brainer's economy is gigantic. It looks like Shelty not actually able to quite hold here. He's going to have to retreat back. I thought it was a decent fight for him. He's got a couple of trolls on the back here to hold on, but the 2v1 is starting, and Shelty, he is not able to hold. Meanwhile, on the top side, we are seeing some raids coming through, or defenses coming through, as the Dr. Someone Ninja getting up a cheeky little mana before retreating away from here. And Shelty trying to get damage done. Now, with these trolls, if he gets himself Cave Troll, it's going to be really, really nice for him, but not going to be happening at the moment. In center of the map, do you see a little bit of movement around here as Monkfish is looking to try and get up here and support Shelty in this position. We are seeing Bragi coming through for El Matador. He is absolutely gigantic at this point in the game. So will he be able to translate that into some sort of military advantage, some sort of actual advantage is the big question. Now, no players actually going through for Skadi here is potentially a big problem. Shockwave onto those thrown axemen as Monkfish has nothing to do but turn around and take this fight. Can he win or not is the big question. As the Berserk thrown axemen simply just going to retreat back up to this town center. Call it a day. Berserk still pushing forward, still making life hard for the last Jarl. He has to come over here onto a El Matadorian gold mine. El Matador does have 2 gold mines behind him, so he can definitely move off that if need be. But Monkfish now on this position. No Brainer coming over here to support. Shelty is already over here, though, with everything and more. Meanwhile, where are the forward sky passages is the big question. As our Aranos player is on the back trying to chase around El Matador, who is going for raids left, right, and center. The dwarves retreating. While this is going on, now the last Jarl is open. He is struggling for economy. He is struggling for units at the moment. El Matador and No Brainer need to get over here and support the last Jarl in a big way. Now the army decides it's time to get in here, potentially taking down the town center. There's flaming weapons available. And we do see it getting dropped down on this spot. As the Norseman, very angry. Good garrison micro from the last Jarl. Trying to snipe as much as he possibly can. Trying to get as much damage as he possibly can. The flaming weapons there for El Matador. He is all over the map at the moment. Look at this back builds. He's got it all happening. But Shelty and Monkfish seemingly can't break through at this point. Chaos getting dropped down where? On the main town center. Going to be able to kill off a lot of those Berserks. These Berserks do have Valhalla's Chosen, so they are giving back one favor. As Shelty pulling back up onto this position, El Matador is getting further and further in front. More of these side builds coming down all over the map, just absolutely controlling this in an insanely efficient way. And while the Berserk's taking everything out over onto this position. More units for El Matador coming through, getting villager kills everywhere as Dr. Someone Ninja He's having a very difficult time holding on. But the thing is, the last Jarl is so far behind here that it might not matter that El Matador is that far in front. The problem is that no one's close to No Brainer either. As the villagers here getting spotted, the dwarves, Shelty losing gold yet again. He does have Thor. He does have himself access to Dwarven Mine, but refusing to use it at his own peril. He's got 147 favor in the bank as well. There's not really any reason to be getting gold anywhere but in his main base. Is the raiding cavalry finding more villagers that they're going to dive into the town center. Shelty is in a lot of pain in this game. The battle balls are also out for El Matador, but those Mermillo, they're holding strong. You see a Bragi coming through as well here for Shelty finally. Flaming weapons gets dropped down onto this position. Going to take out a bunch of those El Matadorian units before charging into the main base here. To take out everything else, he can go after villages, he can go after the town center. So they've got 1,130 HP remaining. In the main base, however, the raids continuing. Shelty's still under pressure. Will Shelty just right-click on this town center or not is the big question. Differential in population is absolutely gigantic here. This is Shelty's team over here. This is the last Jarl's team. The town center for the last Jarl falling, but so many villagers falling up here. I'm not sure that the last Jarl is really going to mind here. He's at 40 villagers, which is a very, very low amount. But look at our red Uranus player, Dr. Someone Ninja. He's at 34, and he's constantly taking damage. Fortified town center for El Matador. Looks like it's going to be going down, though. See a little hill fort on the back as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see El Matador going Mythic Age at this point, and that is exactly it. As he's going through tier. As El Matador retreating away from this position. These battle boards are so insane. Whole bunch of hero Contarias coming in though. That's going to be a big turn of the tides in this fight. You have to also remember that Shelty doesn't have himself heavy infantry. He doesn't have himself that Call of Valhalla. So the berserks there for El Matador are absolutely gigantic. Meanwhile, still more raids coming in, sniping down battle boards left, right, and center. The last Jarl is up on this top gold mine, happily mining. He's over here on this wood line, happily chopping. He's getting his town center back. He's getting his feet back in this game. Another carnivore in onto this position as Shelty's army is seemingly crumbling here. Berserk throw and Axeman popping out. We'll be able to take out all of those berserks and everything else. We see the battle boards charging forward as well. As tier comes through for El Matador, and that might just be the nail in the coffin here. As Shelty says, yep, that's it. And the first win goes to the last Jarl's team, the Idle Villager Collective. It is a best of 5, I believe. First to 3. We're not going to see all 5 games unless it's a best of 5 that finishes. But a dominating performance in game number 1 from the last Jarl's side here. What Shelty needs to do is get back into the thinking room, get that think tank happening, and trying to figure out how do I deal with a booming El Matador in this game. That's what he has to figure out. We'll see if he can do it. If you guys enjoyed this one, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, follow button, all the above. We'll get into the next game very, very shortly. And we're back with game number 2. What a time to be alive. All of the good things are going to be happening here. We have not seen any serious changes in these teams. Both teams are still using the same players, the same gods on the map Tundra. So this is sometimes, part of this is because we're watching the captain's draft, right? And we've got a lot of lower level players who aren't going to play a whole bunch of different gods because they just can't. And that's totally fair. I think as you're learning the Age of Mythology, I think it is you doing yourself a disservice if you play a ton of different gods as you're learning the game. However, once you get to the top and you start playing really, really well, I actually think you do yourself a disservice by not playing every god. So, a little bit of column A, column B. But in the end of the day, when you're playing in a tournament, you're going to pick the god you feel the most comfortable with. As, yeah, you see last Jarl, he really likes Odin. He's going to pick Odin. You see El Matador. He really likes Thor in the team games. He's going to keep picking Thor. I am surprised to see no Ra or Isis being picked. If I come back to the god bands, Zeus and Gaia. So Isis and Ra both still exist. Isis is coming up next game. Oh, that's right. They're one of these teams is hiding an OP Isis player in their back pocket. That's right. So we'll see how that's going to go. Now, I have seen El Matador dealing with Isis fairly nicely already once or twice in this tournament. So it's not really going to be something he's not used to, but it is a challenge, that's for sure. So we'll see how things are going to go. Alrighty, let's see. Are these guys going to do anything different in this game is the big question. I imagine Shelty, well actually, Shelty did pick the pocket in this game and sent his Uranus off onto the side to match up with No Brainers Uranus. So both the lower level players on these teams are going to be matching up, which will allow Shelty the opportunity to get a boom going to match El Matador. And also try and keep himself kind of far away from the last Jarl. But Temple's coming through. We see a fast advance here from No Brainer. Fast advances make a lot of sense if you're just going to go for a town center in team games. Because the faster you advance, or the faster your town center gets up, the more resources you're going to be able to get. So you're going to be able to make up for the fact that your opponent's taking those later advances, so you're all good. That makes a lot of sense. But Dr. Someone Ninja, he's just going to be opening up with military barracks and trying to make that work. As we see some advanced times coming through. 4 studies for both Shelty and El Matador. Both of these guys going for a relatively late advance time. I'm a little bit surprised to see that. I think you can get the town. I think there's going to be, okay. So here's what happened when Green Sea Squash. He's one of the best team game players to have ever played Age of Mythology. I'm not sure how much team game he's really played in Retold just yet, but when Green Sea Squash, he started playing Thor in Legacy team games, and what he did was he came up with a ridiculously efficient Thor fast second town center. I would be surprised if there wasn't already made a build order by someone, maybe some hidden strats sort of team, to get up this ridiculously fast second town center for Thor. And to me, it seems like the advance of something like a 415 with the armor and all the upgrades makes a lot of sense. You might even be able to go for a faster advance time, no Dwarven Armory, get the town center, put the Dwarven Armory down, then get the upgrades through as the most efficient, but I feel like it's probably not the best way to go about it. You have to get the town center up like a full minute before, but we'll see. So if anybody wants to put out the most ridiculously fast second town center for Norse, for Thor. Let's see. You can get a 3... Yeah, but... So you can get a 345 with a Dwarven Armory. But with what resources in the bank? Can you get a town center down straight away? Probably not. Oh, Mermillo, eaten. Yum, yum, yum. Little cheeky forest fire coming in as Monkfish needs to pull back to his thing. He does. Oh, great micro there. Keeping his low HP. Berserk alive. Those raiding cavalry for the last Jarl. Getting singed by the forest fire. Not really that big of a deal. As the army going to be charging through a couple of berserks on the front here. Does pull them back ever so slightly as the last Jarl going to pull back into the forest fire. And Monkfish finally loses a unit. As the last Jarl draws what seems to be first blood. There was damage down here, but the first blood for them. No brainer. Sky passage up on the front. Going to be making himself very, very safe here. However, no brainer on 2 town centers at the moment is huge. Over onto the other side. Shelty. Oh, not 2 town centers. Shelty says, hey, El Matador, I raise you. I see your 2 town center from last game and I raise you a 3 town center. Will El Matador react or not is the question. They've got no idea it's coming up. The last Jarl's units are going to be searching for villages. There are some berserks here to help support. But at this stage, they've probably got no idea what's coming for them. And genuinely, like, the way for a skilled RTS player to carry is generally to try and just squeeze out as much boom as they possibly can. If they get out all of the economy, then they can use all that economy to find advantages. They can spend all the resources, be all over the map, all the good stuff. So it makes a lot of sense for this boom to be coming in this way, as the last Jarl will come through. He sees the town center, so El Matador now knows that he is behind the 8 ball, as he's now dropping his own 3rd town center. So you get a boom, you get a boom, and you get a boom. There's a shockwave somewhere on the map. I must have missed it. It's like a little... Oh, down here. He picks up 2 citizens. As the Mermillo here for Dr. Someone Ninja. Very, very scary. As the raiding cavalry for the last Jarl. Just going to be moving around here. If you can get some sort of like wall down, ghost building down or something to trap those raiding cavalry, it could be absolutely huge. But it looks like neither player going to be able to do that. These raiding cavalry are so quick. 6.6 speed. You have to remember the last Jarl. He is just staying 1 town center. Full send. He's going up through Skadi here. There's all the villagers diving into the town center, trying to stay very far away from those raiding cavalry. But El Matador, look at these walls. He is loving these walls. He's just like, let me just get everything walled up. We're taking this game slow. We're taking this game boomy. Over on this side, we're seeing a lot of fighting. Citizens falling here for no brainer. He's struggling to deal with all of this. The Mermillo from Dr. Someone Ninja, they're doing a lot of work here. Will there be any units to come around and support this? Because that's all No Brainer really needs. He just needs like a handful of berserks to just come in and just clean up 1 army, and then all of a sudden, No Brainer is in the lead here. These berserks do get spotted. El Matador needs to get out of there. So raiding cavalry for the last Jarl. They've been surrounded to some degree. El Matador is over here. And Dr. Someone Ninja needs to get away from this position. He can't be losing units at this moment. Shelty a little slow to react and get over here. He does manage to get a couple of shanks off. Shockwave comes down. The raiding cavalry are going to turn around for a second here, but they can't stay here for all too long. The Berserks for El Matador are going to be very scary to deal with on this spot. Oh, the Shockwave coming in as a Heroic Age comes through. For El Matador? Yes. Shelty a little bit behind the 8 ball here. He's got the resources to advance, but not quite there just yet. His economy is gigantic. 68 to... El Matador has got so many more villages than Shelty does in this game. I think Shelty's been having some very hefty blows to his economy from the last Jarl raids. You just see the walls for the Idle Villager Collective. There's just a gigantic wall coming across here. And Shelty is ready to start attacking here. He needs to get himself that heavy infantry because there will be a big timing here for El Matador, who's already got himself Hall of Valhalla. He's already got himself the infantry upgrade. Like the Hussars charging forward. Berserk's on the chase as well. It looks to me like Shelty's got a big military lead at the moment, but he needs to work together with his team to get something to happen here. Meanwhile, the raiding cavalry, the Berserk's still getting chased down by Monkfish. Monkfish needs to get over there and support, get all his villagers to safety, and just call it a day on that. So there's the Bragian. Shelty turning around to take this fight. You have to remember he is behind a technology here, but he can very simply take this fight. No brainer with the Stymphalian bird, however, is going to be a little bit of a difficulty here to deal with. That's another Carnivora getting dropped down. No brainer Sky Passage under attack. Some good damage coming through here, but those units will escape through the Sky Passage. No problem. There's a troll throwing big boulders, trying to get little bits of damage done. But at this point now, there are two people chasing after Shelty's army. And Shelty's like, get over here, support me. Monkfish, where are you? Monkfish is chasing last Jarl's units around on the spot. Flaming Weapons gets dropped by Shelty and by El Matador as the fight is ensuing. These throwing axemen for the last Jarl are going to be gigantic. Shelty finally decides, okay, time to get out of here. But the shockwave coming through the army is going to get so much more damage on the end of this. And all of a sudden, El Matador has taken a huge score lead. Shelty is falling behind, no brainer, and the last Jarl are both in a good spot at the moment. I've seen Dr. Someone Ninja trying to get in, trying to get some raids on. This village is kind of all over the place for El Matador. Monkfish's army is still sitting back, waiting, watching. He needs to get involved in some way, shape, or form, but he's just getting raided into the ground. And now, El Matador gets his side build off yet again. I think this is why this team, El Matador, has focused so heavily on these walls. There are gaps to some degree in the walls. Like, I mean, obviously you run straight through the last Jarl's base and you're in your opponent's side of the map. But these side builds are going to be absolutely terrifying. There are a couple of trolls over here to deal with this, but he needs more units here. Big chaos onto this spot, taking out a bunch of those throwing axemen. It's the Stymphalian birds doing what they can overhead. dead battle ball. Can Shelty figure out how to hold here or not? El Matador is so gigantic, and inside of this gigantism, he's now going 205 pop. Mythic Age coming. Town Center falls. Shockwave drops. Shelty resigns. And that's the game. A quick, swift 2-0 lead formed by the Idle Villager Collective. Shelty's team of What's a Hotkey is going to have to go back to the drawing board now, sub out a player, and see if they can turn the tides of this battle. If you guys are enjoying, don't forget to hit that follow button, subscribe button, and all the other good stuff. But we'll get the next game going very shortly. Another game. Another you. Another me. And we see the map. Kurlauger. Everyone's favorite water map. I mean, it might not be your favorite, but it is something, as we're going to see a very, very different lineup of gods here for Shelty's team. Instead of going for this tried and true Thor, Odin, Uranus, as we're also seeing the last Jarl's team change. We've got Kronos here for Shelty. We've got Monkfish now as the Isis. And in the teal color, we've got Dr. Someone Ninja playing as Uranus. On the other side, Warcrawl as the Isis on the front. Wild. I guess he does get free towers, so it makes some sense. El Matador on the back with the Thor. And as always, the last Jarl going in with his Odin. Spicy! I haven't seen this map in a team game before. This is kind of sick. You get one player on the forward position, 2 players on the back. So all of a sudden, this guy is no longer the pocket, but he is the forward player. What does this even mean? But both teams opting to actually drop their Isis into the forward position and say, hey, good luck, guys. You're going to get cleaned up at some point, I guarantee. Jeepers creepers. This is wild. Docks down onto the side here. And we're going to see a pretty large fish boom. I am somewhat surprised in the lack of Greek picks here. Just on the fact that Greek seems very, very good. But we'll have to wait and see. So I guess what's the plan? I don't really know. What's Shelty's plan? Mass Prometheans makes some sense, but you are also going up. Oh no, you have an Uranus as well. You got double Mass Prometheans. No Skylar to come and own the water, though on Kurlauger, the Skylar is less oppressive because you can deal with it with a hero unit. A land hero unit. Meanwhile, on the sides of the maps as well for Kurlauger, if you'll remember, there are settlements everywhere, gold mines everywhere. So there's lots of expanding past the water possible. And I would garner a guess that you're probably not, if you lose the water, you're probably not going to be able to deny someone from just sending stuff over onto this side. Temple coming up for Warcrawl. Still no advances coming through for anyone. As it does look like everyone's just going to take the slow route to the next stage. But is there anything kind of spicy? Oh. I don't want to speak too soon. But let's just zoom in on this Kronos and just have a think about something very, very spicy that Kronos could do. A recent unit got buffed. And when your opponent is out in the center of the map here, all alone, with no one beside him, maybe, just maybe, some behemoths might be very, very strong here. I could be crazy. Rhea He's a god I really want to try out. Have you guys tried him out? Let me know. But Rhea's a god I want to try. I want to throw those behemoth in to the fray and see what happens. But age up's now coming in. We've got Prometheus for Shelty. Freya here for the last Jarl. We've got Bast for Warcruel. Over here we've got Oceanus for Dr. Someone Ninja. We've got Four City there for El Matador. And Anubis. Anubis for Warcruel. I said it 3 times because it requires that many times to get the point across. Wait, hold on. El Matador didn't go fish? Wow! It makes perfect sense. Why go fish when you can just not go fish? There's only so many fishing spots. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. You can easily fish all that with one player. No problems. And then all of a sudden, El Matador can just do his strat. He can get his fast second town center going. He can play with the extra villagers from the armory. This is totally fine for him. He's still got himself 4 villager lead, which is kind of like having 8 fishing ships at the moment. And look at how many fishing ships Shelty has. He's got 6. That's it. A longhouse. Oh. A longhouse has been spotted. And a dead citizen. As Shelty might be alerted to the presence there. He does go for a town center. But wow. I didn't even think this through all the way. These guys have clearly come in with a plan. And they have executed at least the opening very nicely. Plague of Serpents will be usable on this spot here to just hold against any sort of naval units that come. See some military buildings coming down for Shelty as well, as Monkfish is already clicking up through Nephthys. And we also see Warcrawl going through Nephthys as well. There's double armories coming up, and I imagine Warcrawl might try and rush his way to some sort of fast mythic age. He's getting Necropolis, he's going to get those monuments. He could potentially go for a whole bunch of Phoenix here. As the Berserk raid's going to be starting already, man. This side build from El Matador, it must feel so frustrating to deal with. Oh my, house blocking. I don't think it mattered. It would have died anyways, but let's see how it all goes. 2 town center already up. Heroic Gauge is in. Walls coming through here for Warcrawl to defend his position. Going to see those fishing ship upgrades coming through. Remember, El Matador does not need to get them. He's only on land. He will be like slightly behind on economy, but he's on 2 town centers, so I guess it doesn't matter. There's a Promethean here. They're going to try and chase down these Berserks, but it's looking like it's going to be a little bit challenging. Shelty starting to put pressure on. Ancestors coming down here for Warcrawl. He wants to get that Migdol stronghold up. Dr. Someone Ninja is here. Shelty is here. Monkfish is coming in. There's no El Matador to be spotted at the moment. Ancestors Eclipse is still available as the Hersur coming through for the last Jarl. So this is looking like a very difficult position to hold for the time being. There is access to deconstruction here. And finally, Shelty realizes it as he does decide to drop it down. Still pushing forward. Ancestor Eclipse still available. Shockwave onto the villagers to deny or delay the town center or the Migdol stronghold from going up for a little bit here. Shelty trying to break through the El Matador forces going for a town center over here. We see Ancestors Eclipse getting dropped down. But the Migdol looks like it is back up again. But these Terma look like they're going to be able to survive on this spot a little bit to allow the Migdol to get torn down, it seems. But there are a lot of the last Jarl units here to support. As the villagers repairing back up, and it looks to me like this position has been held. Prosperity to come down now for Walk Rule as the hold has been successful. Shelty, Monkfish, Dr. Someone, Ninja, not really able to make it happen thus far. Mining camp on the front here for Monkfish. A couple more Monkfish Migdols would not go astray. He's only got the one for the time being. And Shelty, in that moment, has been getting harassed non-stop by El Matador. El Matador too strong after the big fat attack does not work out. I thought going for Behemoths here was the play from Shelty. Makes a lot of sense, but he just doesn't go Heroic Age. Tries to go for these Terma, and they just don't cut the mustard at all. And a quick 3-0 here for the last Jarl's team, as Shelty unfortunately can't find a win. Nonetheless, you guys enjoyed this one. I will be attaching some games to go after this, so keep watching if you want to watch those. But otherwise, make sure you hit the follow button and all the other good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Up against Deceive, and we get the set. Alrighty, let's see how this all... Oops, I have to go to fix this. I'm not going to be able to fix it for a little bit. Fix my scroll speed. Do this. Get onto this. Get onto this. Over onto this. I was kind of hoping to find some stuff over here. We do find ourselves a town center on this side. We do find some bears. That'll do. Nice and helpful for our defense of potentially getting town centers somewhere on this map. It looks like it's a bit of an open Anatolia for the time being. Okay, we've got some Aurochs over there that I really want to convert, but let's just stay in the corner and get those bears first. I might be able to get them later. Good luck, have fun. Get ourselves pickaxe. Now we get the scouting in. Dude, that town center is nice. Oops, these cows need to come through. What's this? Clippish of Horus is pretty good. Over onto the gold mine now. Bad luck, don't have fun. BM. Right, there might be something over here. There is. Okay, so both of these things have got those Aurochs on there. Oops.
Greek, are you repair? In kid, bear.
In with you no.
In a refer.
Gerek, you repair.
Okay.
Antio tayo.
In wedge.
Greg, you kids. In kids. Greg, no.
Kill those.
In and wheat.
Ini tayo.
In a tayo.
Greg, you refer I air.
In UER.
In wet. Antio arc.
Ini two kids.
Come on to the chickens on the back here.
In wedge. Kid.
There's actually no gold on this town center. Did not expect that.
Gerek, kid.
That's okay.
In bear.
Probably should have gone over here, to be honest. This gold mine's really nice. But this has the hunt on it. So I get all the hunt
Gerek.
if I do this correctly.
In I bear.
I air. Ini two you refer. In which
In Antio.
In a new.
Greg, tayo.
In I you repair.
Ini baya.
In
Greg,
wedge.
you act. You I air.
And you repair. You
Direi. A refer.
In which tayo. No.
You repair.
Ini you ref. No. In which act. You no.
Let's just try and drag all these aurochs in.
You refer. No. Ini tayo. I air. No. Greg, no. In act. You I no.
In tayo. I ask you.
Okay.
UIR. And you repair. In UIR.
So I need to vision this and just see what he's doing. Whole bunch of villagers on favor. Looks like a town center to me.
Ini to tayo.
If I had to guess.
Act tayo. Kids. And you react. No. Ini to end with kids. UI kids. Break up. No. Ini to repair.
Greek and you repair.
Okay, we got all of those. Let's get these as well.
N UI air.
Tayo.
Kid.
Tayo. Refer. Ta.
Well, that's a town center there. Okay, if that's the case, I'm going to take this position. If he's going to go for that town center, I am going to take this forward thing, and I'm just going to put all the pressure on the world, in the world, onto him. I wasn't going to. I was going to play it safe because I thought maybe it's going to be a little bit different, but
You need to.
NGO.
Gary.
NGO.
put one migdol here.
Andayo. In wedge. Greek. Dayo.
Kids.
Ayo refer. And
Put one migdol here.
Greg. Kids.
One of these.
You need to.
kid.
Get a whole bunch of this. You guys can come off this and just go into wood for now. Actually, maybe don't do that.
Oh no.
Kid.
You need to. Kids.
Ayo refer.
In Gary. Into you. Into you.
You record your with
Gary. Kid.
Greg. And with Greg. You need to. Kids.
And you into you. Into you. Ia at you. And wait. Ia into you. At you. Ia into you. Into you. Girl. Into and you
Ayo refer. I air.
And with
Energy.
you need Maya.
And tire.
into you. Into you.
Alright.
Girl. Into you. And into you. Into you.
Ayo refer.
Into you. In you.
And dayo. Ayo dayo. Gary. In Yahweh.
Into you. Into you.
Tayo. No.
Into you, and wait, into you. Girl, into you, into you, into you, into you. In girl, into you, into you, and
You need to. Akbaya.
Get this thing in. I need less villagers on wood now.
Greg. Tayo. Kids.
Gary. You bear.
in the you,
In which.
In you kid. In you. Image.
Naya in Shrey. Your kids. Tayo.
into UEL. Girl, into EU, into
Gerek.
Eritayo.
Into you.
Break time.
Okay. Get the damage done.
Into you.
I will take your town center as my own. It is now my town center.
You need to.
Into you. Into you. Into you. Into you.
Hello there, gold miners and all things disease.
Into you.
Enrich kids.
Into you. Into you. A-U-E-R. Into you.
Rig. At. Ta. U-I-R.
Into you. Into you. Garrick. U-E. Into you. Into you. Yeah, at you.
I see you.
And wait. U-E. Garrick. Into you. Into you.
GG. Seems like the chariot archers are still pretty good, guys. This is because he wished me bad luck, yeah. Let's go chariot archer spamming. Everybody loves a chariot archer, right? Are we still love chariots? Does everyone still love them? Are they balanced? Maybe. I mean, we have similar resources. I just built more shit than him. He just couldn't get his shit out to deal with my chariot archers. Maybe he should stay 2 town centers. Chariots need buffs? Yeah, I think we should buff the chariot archer. Maybe give him like 5 more HP.
Into you.
Could be a way to like give him some like more playability, you know? maybe give him 5 HP and an extra range on bone bow.
Into you.
I think that'd be good changes, yeah. Did I not get my house down? No, I have all my houses. What are you talking about? Did I miss a house? No. Oh well. GG.